All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
That's it, baby. We're going to work. Got it. 98. Watch 98. 98 for Mike. Let's go, D. Rush in. Rush in. Let's go.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Here we go.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hey, Charlie.
Block now on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
You got nothing.
Block again here on 2nd and 10. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
A shotgun give to Fournette. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Yeah, he's got his tight end, Oliver. That one good for 24 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They go back to the ground now with Fournette. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lock. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Here's Locke to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, How about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Let's go, let's go.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. First carry for James Conner. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Like 80.
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Roethlisberger will throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now Leonard Fournette. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. This is Richard. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Check. Go.
Now to the air. Lock. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Fournette. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 50, plant.
Down to lose one. 25, check 25, check 25.
Smooth.
On the run, it's Fournette. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Hey, exit. Ready.
From the gun, it's Locke. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this 1st half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offense.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about it on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. The drive will start with Connor. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down now, it's Connor. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Lock to throw on 2nd down. Sharks got it left side. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Bartney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Let's see who's faster.
Lock going to throw. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
180.
44, come on. I got you.
Jack 16.
Now on 2nd and 13. Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
He's checking.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Josh Jones in on the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
50. Quarter. Hey, Haywood.
Tighten up.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They look to throw. It's Locke. And he completes it to Westbrook. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Locke now after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now give that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
This is fielded at the goal line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Strip that ball.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Jags grab it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Let's go. 50, plant.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Locke. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 16 yards, a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Locke now, 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. from the 22. Block. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Here we go. 8, read. Shoot.
Lock to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Westbrook, complete. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And some room to roam now. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 16.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Forced out to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Elliott puts this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
We got this.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
198.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. He'll find his running back here, Richard. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Here we go. Black 20.
44. I'm coming after you.
On first down, Connor. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Black 80.
Right here.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
I got you, punk.
44.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98.
Block now on first down. The open man is Westbrook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Block now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He's going to fire one deep over. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. So that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's counter. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 33 and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll go with Snell here on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Steelers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, alert!
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Huge article in their local paper this morning saying how the 4 interceptions last week led them to that victory. Here they haven't been able to come up with one, and they're losing. Probably not a coincidence.
I don't think so at all. I think you're spot on, but maybe they put a little extra pressure on themselves because the 4 interceptions last week, victory. Right now, no interceptions in this game. Had a chance for one, missed it, and they're losing. Probably feeling the pressure right now.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Hey, Alpha. Ready.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Stephon Tuitt picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Locke. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say that was a game-saving play.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Fighting him off. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, for positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. They're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big third down play there for the Jags. 59 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Let's go now. 10 logo.
To throw his lock. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's back to throw. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line.
70, Indy.
It's our time. It's our time.
Snap.
Into the red zone, it's locked. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
They'll run here with Connor. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. And they will take a knee here. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Steelers, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.